Alright, this will be the summary video for the syllabus for the Marketing 4-week course during the May 2016 term. Marketing 495, that is. This is marketing management. This course is going to move very rapidly. So I want to give you information about the syllabus, and there'll be videos for each of the short papers, so that you'll have that information as we move through. The contact information is listed at the top of the syllabus. Notice that my office hours are from 12 to 1, so that will be the hour before this class meets. Specifically on the days that we meet, I'll be here at that time, and I'll be here at that time on some of the days we don't meet, so you don't need to make an appointment for that. This course is a hybrid, so that means part of the class is we do meet half the classes in the classroom and then the other half online. So when we do meet, it'll be on a Tuesday or Thursday from 1 to 3:30. The required textbook is Marketing Strategy 6th edition. Students have always said that this is a good reference book for this course. And it basically, this course is about writing a marketing plan, and the textbook is built around the writing of a marketing plan. The chapters go through chapter by chapter of the parts of a marketing plan, and then there are some cases about writing the different aspects. Is the center section of the book, and at the end there's an appendix of a sample marketing plan. So it gives you some I think there's also in the appendix at the end a detailed outline of a marketing plan. So it gives you a good reference with that. If you can find a 5th edition or 4th edition by Farrell and Hartline of that marketing strategy textbook, that's okay with me. Pages will be different, things like that. Maybe some chapters, numbers will be different, or the order. But it being a reference book, you can still find the information in there. Just a side note, the author, Dr. Hartline, he is actually a JSU graduate. He's currently teaching at Florida State University. So that's one of the main reasons why I have this textbook. Moving on, you'll see moving on to page 2, the policies. I highly encourage your attendance. Attendance to the first class meeting, which is May 10th at 1 o'clock in room 218, is mandatory. You have to be here. If you miss that meeting, you're going to be behind, and it's going to be very difficult for you to make it up. So you really need to be here for that particular class meeting. But please come to the class meetings as they're scheduled. If you need help beyond the classroom time that is scheduled, you can always schedule an appointment with me, come by and see me during office hours, that sort of thing. This course is a writing course. There will be no exams. So under policies, you'll see a section called short papers. These short papers, what I've done is I've divided a marketing plan up into 10 parts. And each of these parts I refer to as a short paper. You'll write a short paper, and you'll turn it in. I'll grade it, make comments on how to improve it, and give it back to you. You'll do this 10 times. And with these 10 short papers at the end of the term, you'll take my comments, you'll make improvements as you move through the term, and then at the end, you'll pull all 10 short papers together, and that will form a marketing plan. So that's how the course is arranged. This will be the crux of the course. Each of the short papers is worth 30 points, and there are 10 of them, so that's 300 possible points with the short papers. The final marketing plan that you will have and be turning in is worth 100 points. So that's a total of 400 points in the course. So if you get behind and get late penalties with these short papers, you turn in your marketing plan late, things like that, it's really going to bring your grade down. This is a course that is fairly simple as long as you keep up with it, and keeping up with things mainly is writing the short papers and turning them in on time. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Let's see. There's some information there the Dean would like us to include dealing with academic honesty. Right at the end of that, you'll see grading. There is right before the heading grading. Please be careful when you're writing these papers not to plagiarize. I do not mind if you use direct quotes, but make sure you put quotation marks and you cite it properly. We'll talk more about that on the first day of class. but do not take someone else's words as your own. Grading, I'll repeat, there are 300 points possible with the short papers. That's 75% of your grade. 100 points available with the final version of the marketing plan, which is 25% of your grade. So it's total 400 points. I'm on a 10% scale. So 90 percentile to 100 is an A. That would be 360 points out of 400. 360 points or greater out of 400 would earn the student a grade of A. Let's see, you can turn in the short papers and the final version electronically. That would be an attachment to an email. Anytime you're turning in something to a professor or really emailing anyone, especially if you have an attachment, do not send a blank email. Make sure that you put in there what you're emailing, what the attachment is in the email message. So always include something in the subject line, always include something in the body of the email message so that we know it's not spam and we know what attachment we're opening. So you can turn in everything electronically. For those of you who want to turn in hard copies, I'll accept that as well of the short papers and the final version. And I'll talk more about that on the first day. But you do have that option of turning in electronic or hard copy. And you can go back and forth throughout the semester if you'd like. It really makes it more difficult on your part, but it's however you want to do that. I'll accept it either way. The next page in the syllabus gives you the title of the 10 short papers or the 10 parts to a marketing plan that you'll be writing. Paper 1 will be a product description. I think I failed to mention this, but you will be selecting on the very first day that we meet on May 10th a product that's currently in the marketplace. It can be a consumer product, a business product, but a product that's currently in the marketplace. The most popular products for this course that students have picked in the past have been automobiles and trucks or beverages, Gatorade, Budweiser, things like that. Those are the two most popular, but you're not limited to those. You can pick any product that you would like as long as it's currently in the marketplace. It can be a good, it can be a service, business product, consumer product, whatever. Once you select your product, and I'll walk you through it, we'll discuss that on day 1, you will begin writing the short papers, writing a marketing plan for that product. The first paper is a product description paper, and I'll lecture on that, and then you turn in the paper. Paper 2 is the mission statement, goals, and objectives for that product. Again, I'll lecture on it, we'll talk about it, then the paper's due. So you'll get information about each of these short papers and what should be contained in them and a detailed outline for them, etc., before you have to turn it in. Then an environmental analysis and a SWOT analysis will be done. Identification of the target market and the product's positioning in paper 5. Papers 6 and 7 deal with the marketing mix, product and price in paper 6, place and promotion in paper 7. Then in paper 8, we'll deal with some influencers, things like FAB, features, advantages, and benefits, value, satisfaction, things like that. Paper 9 will be a catch-all category kind of paper, and then paper 10 is the executive summary. And we'll go back over that list and talk about it in detail, not only on the first day, but each lecture that we have preparing for those different papers. Then at the end of the syllabus is the schedule. The schedule for this 4-week course, now it does go for 4 weeks, is that we will meet for the first time. We'll only meet on Tuesdays or Thursdays. First time we meet will be on Tuesday, May the 10th, at 1 o'clock. We'll talk about the marketing plan, the short papers, due dates, all that kind of thing. And you'll also select your subject for your marketing plan. You can change your subject, but you'll need to notify me of that change, but you cannot select a topic that somebody else has already signed up for. We'll talk about that on the first day, and it's good that you think about that and have one picked out. I suggest you pick a product that either you have a lot of information on, you've either worked for the company or your parents or uncle or aunts or somebody has worked for the company or is working for the company, or it's a product you've recently purchased and done research on it with that, or it's a product that is manufactured by a company you would like to work for in the future. That way you can do some research on one of their products and in an interview talk intelligently about their products, and you even will have a marketing plan that you can show them your research that you've done for one of their products. But you'll be asked to select a product for this marketing plan on May the 10th. We'll talk about papers 1 and 2 after we get through the introduction and how to reference things, what the papers will look like, that kind of thing. We'll talk about papers 1 and 2. Then we'll meet again 2 days later on Thursday the 12th for you to turn in papers 1 and 2, and we can talk about papers 3 and 4. Then on Tuesday the 17th, you'll turn in papers 3 and 4, and we will meet as a class, and we'll discuss papers 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And then on Tuesday the 24th, we'll meet, and you'll turn in papers 7 and 8. And then on the last day of class, we will meet for you to turn in your final version of the marketing plan. Now, there are a few dates there where we are not meeting, but papers are due. For example, May 19th, May 26th. We're not meeting on those 2 Thursdays, but you still have papers due. You can email those in, or you can bring them by the office and turn those in. If you come by to turn something in and I am not here, do not slide it under my door. Do not simply put it in the trays on my door. I would like for you to give your papers to someone, to a person. So if I'm here, give it to me. That everything's fine. But if I'm not here, I do not answer my door. Then if my door's closed, knock. I may still be in here, but go down to the departmental office, which is Merrill Building, room 216, and give it to the secretary, student worker, or Dr. Cobb in there. It's the ones down by the water fountain, just outside the suite, my suite of offices here. If no one is there, then go down to the dean's office and give it to them. Tell either office that you are turning this in for Dr. Cunningham, and they will put it in my box for you. Okay, so do not just simply slide a paper under a door, or you can email it. If I am telling you that a paper is due on, let's say, May 19th, papers 5 and 6 are due on that date, that means you have until 3:30 p.m. to turn those papers in. That's the conclusion of class time. So every day that you see a paper is due, you have to get that paper in by 3:30 p.m. that day. For every day that that paper is late, let's say you turn it in at 5:30 instead of 3:30, you turn it at 5:30 p.m. That will be considered 1 day late. You have until 3:29 p.m. to turn that paper in the next day for it to have just 1 letter grade penalty. If it goes into another day, that's a 2 grade letter penalty, etc. So for every 24-hour period the paper is late, there's a letter grade penalty. The final version will be turned in on the 31st. That's the day of final exams. And I'll grade it and get those grades out to you very quickly on that particular day on May 31st. However, that is the day after Memorial Day holiday, so keep that in mind if you don't want to be working on Memorial Day holiday. Now, this course moves very quickly. What I want to tell you is that if you get into this course and things really get bogged down and you are able to do this, you can take an incomplete in the course if you think you can finish the class, the requirements over the next 2 weeks into June. If you go further into June, we're going to run into a problem. I'm not going to stretch an incomplete out beyond June of 2016. So there are some contingency plans here. If you start getting bogged down and you want to avoid those late penalties or something like that, we can make arrangements for you to work on this on an extended period of time, but you'll have to take an incomplete in the class. You'll still have to complete the material and get it in a timely manner, but we can make those arrangements if that's going to be a problem for you, this being a 4-week class. Okay, so all that we have left is for you to come on May 10th to get things started. We're going to hit the ground running, so be prepared to write a good bit over the next 4 weeks.